What's going on YouTube? Today's video we have a blind PSA reveal. So I believe this is a modern bulk submission. I don't remember exactly what cards were submitted in this one. It's been 5 months or so, but I think it's probably a lot of LeBron, maybe some Steph and Giannis, maybe a few Griffeys, but let's get into it and see what we got. So again, haven't looked at these yet. Just got the order back today. And in my recent ultra modern submission, I got about, I think 70-75% gem rate. But I think they're going to be a little bit tougher on the older cards. So these have been 2016 and older. So, you know, probably a lot of like 2008 cards. They've been a little tougher on these. So hoping for a 50% gem rate on these, but we'll see. Hopefully not a lot of 8s. 8s, generally you're losing your grading fee. Whereas on 9, at least you're going to get your grading fee back, and on 10s, you know, triple, quadruple your money and as such. So, let's see which way they've got these. All right, so we've got a 2005 Topps Total LeBron and a 9. So, I'm guessing centering on this one, it looks a little off left to right. 2007 SP Authentic LeBron and a 10. 2007 SP Authentic LeBron and a 10. And these cards, you're just going to want to look for those corners on the back. They can have a little pushed in, but relatively the surface and the white edges makes it pretty easy to grade these. Another 10. So this is kind of what I'm talking about here. So this is, you know, getting an 8 on some of these, that's kind of bad because you're not going to be able to recoup your, what is it, $9 grading fee on these. So, you know, this is a difficult card to grade just because of the black borders. You know, really easy to get that white on there, and you can see maybe a touch of white, but on these, you know, you're hoping to get that 9, although that corner's, that's pretty bad. Hoping to get that 9 because you'll at least break even there. And 10s on some of these harder pop cards, you know, you're going to do pretty well on, but, you know, try not to get as many 8s as you can. So like here's a 9. You know, that's fine. You know, we'll break even on that. Some of these condition sensitive sets, you know, I probably should just avoid, but I always think, I'll give it a try. Maybe something will pop in. Hopefully these 8s turn into 9s and the 9s turn into 10s, but didn't happen on this one, so we'll see going forward if I submit stuff like this. So another 8. You know, these are getting pretty shabby. Another 8. There's a 9. Hey, here we go. Here, see, getting something like this 10. This almost makes up for it because I don't know what these go for, but I can't imagine the pop on this is very high because just again with those black borders, people probably weren't grading 2006 Bowman base cards when they came out because, you know, why would you? But now you would, and so I don't know. This card, I might be able to get a couple $100 for this. We'll see. 2005 SP Authentic 10. Another 10. Another 10. And like with most of my videos, you'll see a lot of the cards repeating, generally because I'm buying bulk lots and, you know, picking out the ones that I think will do good for grading. So 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. And 10. So doing good on some of those SP Authentics. I think almost all of them got 10s. Box number 2. It's the paperwork box. Didn't get any cards returned, so that's always a good sign that nothing was, you know, minimum sized or had other issues with it. LeBron SP Authentic 10. 10. 10. Of course, they had to throw a 9 in there. Couldn't go straight 10s on all the SP Authentics. 2008 Skybox 9. So cards like this, it's probably, you know, something, one of the corners has a little touch on it or something like that. And another Skybox 9. Box number 3. So 2003 SP Authentic Limited Kobe and a 10. That's a cool one. 98 Skybox Premium Kobe 8.5. So that's pretty shabby. Half grades from PSA. You don't see those very often. So it's just a difficult card with those kind of black corners. That's probably this corner right here that looks like it's got some issues. Because everything else looks pretty good. But 8.5. Another shabby. I was hoping, a few of these would get 9s, but we'll see. 98 Ultra Kobe 8. So tough card to grade, but getting 8s on stuff, that's not gonna help the order because you're gonna lose a few bucks getting 8s. 97 Finest Kobe 8. 97 Finest Kobe 9. Back to an 8. At least every once in a while they throw me a 10, so I guess that makes it worthwhile on some of these. The 8s are going to lose a little bit of money on, but the 10s, I can't imagine that the pop is very high on these, especially going forward, just because they're, probably a little stingy with 10s, especially cards that are 23 years old at this point. Another 10. 9. 89 Hoops Jordan 9. Centering's a little off on these. 14 Select Curry 9. 94 Finest Gretzky 9. Another 9. There's a shabby 8. 98 Bowman Chrome Griffey 9. There's another shabby 8. So I've got a few, pretty crappy 8s in here, but that's what you're probably going to get with cards that are 20 plus years old at this point, grading with PSA. Another 8. 16 Revolution Giannis 10. 9. And a 10. So not doing so good when it comes to the 8s. At least I'm getting a few 10s in there. Box 4. I should note, you're seeing some of the 8s. I try not to send anything that I don't think at least should get a 9, just because, again, the 8s aren't worth it. So anytime you see an 8 come back, that's a card that I probably should not have sent, that, I thought would have done better. So 2006 Upper Deck LeBron 9. This is a good one. So 06 Upper Deck LeBron 10. I think that long term these base Upper Deck cards should do pretty well, just because they were known for some really cool basketball cards, and the base card revolution seems to be continuing to click on. So long term, and this is just a tough set to grade with those full bleed borders. Kind of difficult sometimes to get a 10, especially since, again, these probably weren't graded very much when they first came out, and so finding them now in condition to be able to get a 10 is probably a little difficult. Another 10. Another 9. So something like this, if I'm going 50% on every other, I'm okay with that, because the 9s, again, you'll break even, but having those 10s like this 10, that'll be good to have. 9. So 05 Upper Deck 9. 9. There's another shabby 8.5 2006 SPX. 9. 2006 Ultra 9. 2007 Ultra 10. 2007 Upper Deck 10. 10. 10. 9, 10, 9, 10, 9. So on the upper decks, I'm going about 50% 9s and 10s, which is generally where I want to be on the whole submission. So far with those few 8s that are kind of bringing us down, you know, that's probably making it so we're having a gem rate. I don't know if, might not even be 40% at this point. Box 5. '95 metal Jordan, 8.5. So it's kind of rare to get all these half point grades from PSA, but whoever this grader was seemed to want to give them out. See, like this is real shabby, a 7. What am I supposed to do with a 7? 91 Upper Deck Jordan. 2009 Upper Deck LeBron, 9. 2005 SPX, 9. Another 9. Shabby 8. Another 8. So they must have seen something on all these XPXs that they didn't like, because I thought these all would have been 9s and 10s. Another 9. Z Team 8. This is a tough card to grade just because of those black borders, but you know, there's a little touch of white on each of theirs. I was hoping to get a 9, but oh well. 15 Passing Kings, LeBron and a 10. See, now this is a cool card. I don't know what this goes for, but this has to be a tough card to get just because it's over 20 years old. It's got those black borders. These cards, they stick together. Like they stuck together like a year after coming out of the pack. These things would stick together. So finding something that is this old that gets a 10, that's pretty cool to pull that. So that should be a rare card. I'll probably keep this one for the collection, because then you get an 8.5 after it. So I don't really know probably what I thought a lot of these cards look just about the same, and one gets a 10, one gets an 8.5, and the one after that gets an 8. So who knows? 95 SP and an 8. So again, another shabby grade, which is kind of disappointing because I really like this card. It's one of my favorite cards from my childhood. So I was hoping to get 9s and better that I wanted to keep for my collection, but 8s I'm not going to keep. Another 8. And another 8. So this grader really liked the 8s. Could be centering on some of these. 89 Fleer, 9. Another 9. 90 Fleer, 9. This is a cool one to get. So 90 Fleer and a 10. I'm not sure what these are doing now. I think at one point they got up to close to a couple $100 in their documentary. I don't know. They might be $100 or so now, but just a cool card, and you know, grade something that's 30 years old and be able to get a 10 on it, I think is pretty cool. And sixth and final box. So again, I think this order was a little over 100 cards, maybe 105 or so. It took about 4 months to get back. And has a bunch of shabby 8s in it, like this. 2007 Topps 8. So this is just a really tough card with those black borders. But again, anytime you could pull off a 9, I have to imagine 10s are pretty tough on there. You can see a lot of white. I didn't think they were that bad when I sent them in, but who knows? I guess they probably were. But getting something like this, I think this is cool. So 2006 Topps and a 10. So I don't know what this goes for, but maybe 100, 150. Who knows? But this card raw is probably, I don't know what I paid for this, $5 or something like that. So cool. Another one in a 10. And a bunch more black border stuff that I really probably shouldn't have sent in, but I was thinking hopefully some one of these gets a 10, but 8.5. 8. 8. Yeah, so note to self, don't be sending all these black border cards in, because you know, you hope that these 8s or 9s, and the couple 9s you get turn out to be 10s, but it just doesn't turn out that way. 2007 Bowman, 9, 8. Again, what am I supposed to do with a 7? So this is probably one of my worst orders, but you know, with the tougher grading standards, I guess it is what it is now. Just be, you know, aware when you're sending in older cards that aren't right out of the pack. If you look at some of my ultra modern submissions, those still get the 70% gem rates, but these are looking at, I don't know, 30, 20, not even that high. 8. And also don't be sending all these black bordered cards, and they just do terrible. 8. I suppose I got lucky that I got a couple 10s to make up for it in this order, but you know, a lot of these 8s, they're not gonna do what the cost is to get them graded. 8.5, 9, 8, 8.5, 8, 9, and finishing off with a 10. So again, I don't know what that was, maybe 20 or 30% gem rate. I mean, my eyes really aren't that bad, but I just think sending in the older cards, you know, a lot of these cards that they got 8s, I thought they would get 9s, and a lot of the cards that got 9s, I thought they would get 10s, and maybe a few years ago with PSA they would have, but now I don't think that's probably the case anymore. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Should be having more of these orders come back from PSA. I've been sending off about an order a week here over the last few months, so those should start coming in, and we'll get some more PSA blind reveals up on the channel, because I think those are kind of cool to look at and talk about the different cards, why I send them in to get graded, and kind of we can follow along with PSA's grading standards. So that'll do it for today. Bye.